So now we have Yuno's own magic, his own original magic. And it's been a thing that has been like a question within the series since we found out about like the whole elves and stuff. Everything about like them reincarnating in the bodies of people that had similar magic to them. My only question really is how wind magic relates to star magic. I don't really know. I would have liked it more if what had was something tied more to the wind. I'm not opposed to this, but it's just a personal thing. Because it's just weird for him to have two completely separate magics, at least to me. Because the other ones that we've seen like Charmy, but Charmy is a hybrid, and that those are just two flip-flop grimoires for her because of her whole hybrid situation. Mars and Fauna, but theirs is entirely situational because of Morris. And then like there's stuff like the Triad. The Triad, though, have their separate magics because it comes from, completely different entities on top of whatever magic were born with. I'm just curious as to where stars and wind really kind of, like, merge together. What along the lines for Licton Tedia's child was like, wind, star magic seems to, fit well with this. I'm sure it'll all go well for me once I get inside this body. But either way, this chapter, it felt really fast-paced, but I think that was the entire point. And the entire point was, getting this new grimoire set up. He's got new spells that he's busting out. We didn't get any, description on what exactly star magic does. If the magic itself has some bonus effect. Imagine it's like, oh, well, Starlight in Black Clover is able to do X, Y, or Z. What if it was like, well, Starlight can do damage to enemies and heal allies. Something like that, where it had some extra bonus variable to how exactly it works. Either way, in this chapter, he got up in the previous one with his grimoire, and doesn't look like it's going well for Finral and Langris. They're just looking down and beaten up and not going to be survived. Well, they wouldn't be survived if it wasn't for but Yuno's up. His grimoire is going up there, and I like the title of the chapter, Blank, because of Yuno's whole teleport power that he's got with it. That's at least to me more of my hype for his magic was specifically the teleportation, because it's really good, but it's set in a way that one balances it for to make it so it's not like he just has full scale teleportation like Finral, but it's way more set, and it's his tactical battle prowess and how he's going to use it. So the chapter pretty much starts out, for the most part, he shoots these laser beams right through Xenon's face. And Xenon doesn't really try and block it. I'm actually really curious, if he actually tried to guard against this, would he have been able to push off the attack? Because so far, every time we see use that Hosta spell, it just goes through Xenon. He's not even trying to put up a defense on it. So I don't really know how if would I gauge that as suddenly he is his offense is on par with Xenon, or is Xenon just not blocking? Because he has the regen now, but it's if has the ability to destroy that heart, and then Xenon lets him get a hit in, it's going to be his fault 100%. But the magic itself is cool. He has some really cool moments at the start of the chapter, floating up there. He's got these 4 little star pieces floating around him. We find information on his parents, that his father had sun magic, his mother had moon magic. How do they have such OP magics just from the names alone, and get clapped by very early Triad? I don't know, but they're explaining how the Grin Burial family, the royal family, the Spade, has passed down really unique magic, and that's just been been their thing as it's been going. And now has star magic, and Belle's all excited that she's saying she might finally met the real Yuno's hey, that's cool now, but we're in the middle of a fight right now. Let's get back with our head on a swivel and get back in the fight. You charge up power, and I will fight this guy. I do like that he acknowledges that his star magic alone isn't going to be enough to really beat Xenon. If somebody else shows up, I'm going to be really surprised at this point, just because of where the fight is at. I'm not opposed to it. I would like Patry or Charmy or somebody to show up. Mainly Patry. I would love to have Patry in here. But I feel like at this point, it's become way more of a fight rather than a big group open fight. Something like what Magiculus was. But they're like, oh, he's got a 4-leaf grimoire and he's got a second grimoire. They're like, what are you? He's like, oh, I'm the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. Yeah, it's nice, It's funny that, like, even in this moment, he didn't even say, like, he's the Spade Prince. He's just like, yeah, I'm still part of the Clover Kingdom. We good. But his magic itself, at least from what I can tell, it's more of, like, where the stars are, they do different things. Wherever they're at. Kind of like the idea of constellations. Like, he does this one that pretty much makes, like, a big wall. He makes, like, a big shield. It reminds me a lot of Orihime's Fullbring. Like, her whole ability to, like, set up her little spirits in different formations to do different effects. But he ends up doing that. It blocks all the bones. That's when Xenon tries to put him in another box. And, just ends up using this conjunction one that teleports him. My big question more for, like, his teleportation, because I do like that he got a utility spell. I'm a big fan of that. I like when we get upgrades to characters, like, on their overall style of combat, rather than just getting, like, a big, powerful new attack. Whereas, like, this, who, can move all around the battlefield with, like, wind manipulation stuff. Now he's able to set up teleportation spots. And I'm willing to bet that he's able to freely manipulate where they are, like, as the fight goes. Like, it's not like he sets them in 4 locations and then has to, like, individually move them or anything. Like, I would assume that as he's moving around in combat, they're also moving all in their own kind of, like, in their own angles and areas given where, wants them to be. But, like, him being able to, like, short range teleport to them is really cool. Because it opens a lot of just general stuff for, like, if he was going to, I imagine it, like, the range on it. Say, like, could set one in the Clover and one in the Spade, he could just teleport between the 2 of them. Or he can leave one in his base, and then he could just teleport to one of them. Like, if it has that range, either way, like, just in a 1v1 fight, or in, like, a couple fights, I'd imagine this is going to be really useful. Like, the only way that you would really overtake something like this, not talking about, like, stuff like speed differences and stuff, but just, like, in a general 1v1, so it's all kind of, like, evened out. It's just AoE, so it's not like it's super OP, like it's an unmatchable power. Like, his abilities in the chapter were good. We didn't get anything, like I said, that gives a description of the magic. Like, anything that says, like, oh, well, it does this. It's more of, like, we got a shield spell, we got his teleportation, and then we got, like, a couple shots at this energy beam. And Xenon's even bringing up, like, he's teleporting between the stars. And ends up doing up this spell, Hasta, that shoots just, like, this light beam right through Xenon's chest. I actually really want to know, like, what attribute would this really count as? Is it light? Is starlight something different? Is it star magic? Like, it's not light, it's like star energy, or like raw mana. I don't really know. It could just be something like that, where it's like a unique magic that's not on any table, and because of that, like, literally star energy is its own thing. Or like I said, it could just be literal just raw mana by itself. But Xenon's getting mad over, like, what Yuno is saying. He's gonna save everybody, become like the Wizard King, save this big kingdom. And that's upset him, and now he just wants to crush him. He's got these bones shooting all over the place from all around his body, and it's creating this giant hectic mess. I don't get, well, actually, no, I was going to say how I don't get that Langris and Xenon didn't die from us, but I forgot Yuno sent them away in his little wind arc. And then they end up clashing at the end of the chapter, like, saying how, like, they're the ones that are right, and they're the one that's going to win. I'm mildly sad that Xenon's bone sword isn't a name technique. Like, that's not a spell. It looks really cool. I like it. I love, like, the big bone handle. It's got, like, those, like, sharp, jagged pieces near the hilt, like, that have, like, the black piece in the center, and then it's just a long blade, kind of like Yuno's. It's really cool. I'm definitely a fan of that. But this fight is, I feel like it's got to be nearing up to an end, but I also don't think Yuno can really defeat Xenon entirely with his star magic. Like, if another character shows up, or if, like, say Xenon gets put in a spot where, like, really sets him up to, like, a kind of like a one-shot kill kind of thing. Like, if he's, maybe, like, focuses just, instead of trying to fight Xenon, it's more about setting up to hit the heart with one of his Hasta spells. That could be it. I mean, that's definitely a logical way if he can't get, like, really deal with, like, the regeneration that Xenon is putting out. If he can just aim for the core, maybe do whatever he can to just line up that shot and then get the shot in, then that would be obviously, like, a really good win. But other than that, I feel like he has to have somebody else show up, just because, like, he's in just a really bad spot in terms of the overall match, because he's hurt. Like, there's no way that he's got, like, as much stamina and mana right now as Xenon. Like, Xenon, I mean, It doesn't mean that Yuno is low, but I'd be willing to bet that he's not even close to like whatever Xenon's packing right now. But Xenon's starting to get serious, so I would assume that Yuno's going to have to really put in the last shreds of his effort in the next bits of the fight, and we'll see where this goes. I still would really like it if Yuno had to retreat and set up for like another round, and it was like it was more like, okay, well, now he's got Star Magic, he trains the Star Magic, maybe gets better at it, and then goes back for a serious fight against Xenon where we can get Star and Wind Magic Yuno fresh, fully healed with all his mana, and then a Xenon who is up and raring to fight, like for real, from the go. I think that would actually be really cool. I would love that if something like that were to happen. Because otherwise, like, I still don't know what's going to happen with the gates. Because if kills Xenon, then we're going to have to go to see what's going on with Dante or something. Because otherwise, I don't really see where the Spade Kingdom could go. Because, like, Morris is there, but it's like, is Morris going to be doing all that by himself? I don't know. Either way, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But on that, appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.